Well, hello everyone. We're live, and today we have a very, very, very special treat. I have someone with us that has agreed to come on and be a beautiful co-host because it's a really hard job doing this on your own. So I want to introduce you all to our beautiful Nick. So Nick, hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm just getting the sound, double sound at the moment. So
Okay. So maybe if you pop your earphones in, that'd be really cool. So I'll tell you a little bit about Nick while she's getting her earphones organised. So Nick is obviously from Australia, but you can tell by her beautiful accent. And she doesn't live too far from me, just down in northern New South Wales and in beautiful bushland. But Nick's been emailing me every week with her dreams, and it's just been amazing. Also with the decoding that Nick can do. So yeah, I'm so grateful to have you on. It's really lovely to like I said, to have a co-host. So Nick, who have we got on today? We've got Ladyhawk, Trigo, hello. And yeah, Nick, do you want to just tell us a little bit about you and how you got into dreams, maybe?
well, I think the dreams got into me, actually. To be honest, I thought about this the other day, and I don't know when the turning point was, but I just knew that I had to start listening to them. I had to start writing them down. And once I did that, I just kept going and going and going.
Yeah. And I think that's the actual I think that's the winner, is once we have that intention and we actually start connecting in and we do start taking action and writing them down. That's actually when I started. I mean, I always remember my dreams. I don't know, I just was lucky, but when I wrote them down, I could actually go deeper into them. And because I took time then when I was conscious and awake. So I think you're spot on. So for anyone that's wanting to know, how do I remember dreams better, or how do I actually go into work them out and what they're meaning for me better, then that's the best way to do it, I always think, is to have pen and paper right next to your bed or under your pillow, or if you use your phone, you have your recording, your messages there ready to record. Sometimes one or two words can trigger the whole dream back. And so I think what you said is absolutely spot on. So yeah, that's awesome. So we've got Kathleen on as well. Hello. So and so today as well, what I thought, because last week we were talking a lot about guides in the dream, or it started to come up. So today I thought, let's just throw it out there randomly. And if anyone actually has had dreams where they really feel like they were being looked after or guided, I know Zan used to always say for her it was famous people. She knew straight away when it was a dream she had to remember and really work with. So Nick, do you have any sort of do you have any way of getting a message that you are being guided with something in your dreams?
I consider everything that I get as a guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have now worked out that I have my family, I've got my guides, my friends are my guides, the ones in real life that I see in my dreams, and anyone that's famous or a celebrity, because they don't normally appear in my dreams, and when they do, I think, okay, you must have a message for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's an energy. Sometimes I just get this energy, which there's no visual, no words. It just makes me feel a certain way that I can't put into words myself. In fact, they're the ones that I really pay attention to more than anything.
Absolutely. And that's the clairsentience. It's like that, this feeling, or claircognizance, this knowing about something, and it's just there. And you're right. So, because I've had dreams like that too. So, hi, Kathleen. So if anyone's had any dreams where they remember that they've actually had those sensations, or they've had people they know that have always been guides. Yeah, I actually had when I was younger, I used to always have a dream with this guy that I went to school with, and he was actually my debutante partner. But and whenever I was having an adventure in life, I'd then go on and have a dream that was an adventure in my dream, and he would actually be there with me, actually helping me get across these ravines or doing something pretty adventurous like that. So for me, that and then that's changed. I haven't had that for years, but that went on for probably 20 years. He was always the one that was helping me. So it's that aspect of that person, I feel, as well, that's coming through. So yeah, and the only other time I've had a dream where I absolutely knew it was my God presence or higher self, whatever people want to call it. I walked into this room and it was a masculine energy, and it was sitting behind a desk, beautiful. And I just went, oh, you're a part of me. You're this beautiful consciousness. And it was like, yes, you got to go through that door now. And I went, really? So I went through the door, and as I stepped out, it was all misty and there was water, and I was actually walking on the water. It was amazing. So I knew that was this beautiful divine aspect of myself that was coming through to show me that I was going to open
you feel it.
a whole new, something new in my life. So that's probably the one biggest dream where I knew that I was being led or guided. And whether you want to call it God or whatever, I talk to God in here. So I don't even go to my higher self. A lot of the time it's just straight to here and God. So I don't know. How do you do that? Just out of interest, how do you do that, Nick?
Well, it's funny you said that about your higher self, or, that it's not necessarily a hierarchy, because it's just another part of me. But I seem to address or talk to myself more often in my waking hours in that way. I just, check in with, I guess it's still within me, but in my dreams, it's like I just give in. I just give in and let it. And that's where it becomes part of you. And even though you're an observer sometimes, or you're in the moment, look, I'm fully aware most of the time of what I'm experiencing, and so I can sit back and have a sort of a bit of a think about it. But it's something that comes from inside. It's you. It's who you are. Your essence. It's nothing more and nothing that. Like, I think we give labels. We try to attach things in our real life to everything, to the external world. But when you're in a dream, you don't have to be that way. And it's sort of like those things that are there for me are just for me to take into when I wake up into my real life, because I don't remember who I was while I was in the dream, that being, that body, that soul. If that makes sense.
Oh, it does. And that's why I love dreams, because it's, really deep. It's sort of super conscious, subconscious. And Lady Hawk's actually put something up there. Do you want to read that for me?
Yeah. Hi, Lady Hawk. Hi, everyone else. I'm so excited to be here. I mean, I know I can't see you, but I feel like I'm connecting to you all anyway. I do every week. Okay, Lady Hawk. I always feel like there's someone or something over my right shoulder watching in my dreams. I feel like it's me, but a different me.
Almost like the observer, isn't it, Lady Hawk? So if we can get to that place of just observing, that becomes very powerful. So I know I love that. So Lady Hawk, would be awesome to explore that, to actually really maybe even do a meditation and go deep and just see if you can connect into that, while you're conscious as well. So I know, I mean, I've had some incredible help, I think, through my years when I've had things happen. I've actually had a voice speak to me, and it was so beautiful. And it was like, it was actually helping me through a really tough situation, saying, Maureen, nothing is worth this. Like, and I went, that's so true. So I really feel that, there is this aspect of us that can actually connect with us when we need it. So, yeah. So that's beautiful, Lady Hawk. So, and we've got Kathleen has popped something up there. Do you want to read that for me?
Sure. Hi, Kathleen. I have my grandmother or mum in my dreams as guides, but I had a dream 15 years ago with an Indonesian monk I called Sholin, who showed me a temple and a rock labyrinth with precious stones in each spot.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, that is. And like a rock labyrinth. I mean, I just find that the energy from a labyrinth is really quite profound. So what are your thoughts on that one, Nick?
Well, I mean, I think it's beautiful when your grandmother comes in as a female. It's just something that if you have a connection with that person or you had in your real life, there's something that probably has the most grounding, beautiful love that comes through from them. So obviously very significant. So it was 15 years ago. Yeah, I always think about those time frames. Was it 15 years ago? Or is it just as relevant now? An Indonesian monk. So I think about the monk, and what a monk represents is somebody that is very much in touch with who they really are. They're sure about themselves, and they're a guide in terms of a teacher to other people. So definitely a guide for you. Showed me a temple and a rock labyrinth with precious stones in each spot. Wow.
And then it's gone on to say there.
So he told me to focus on each rock when I'm meditating to get me in the zone. I feel like he's always looking over my shoulder with wisdom. Wow.
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. So,
and you're really lucky to have that.
And, you know, if it's a really positive feeling, then, you know, to me, it's like, yep. I mean, it's interesting because I just pulled some cards for you on that one, Kathleen. And we got the Four of Wands, which to me is about making a perfect home and feeling comfortable and confident with where we are. And then you got the Ace of Pentacles. So to me, this is something that's really positive in reality for you. And then the Lover's card. So in essence, this could actually be an aspect of you from another lifetime, or, you know, that's coming through. It could be your very own gifts and your very own wisdom. And because we master certain gifts. So I'm getting, with that Lover's card, I'm actually getting that this could actually be an aspect of you that comes through to you or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty amazing. So, oops. Yeah, I feel this is what happens when we're asleep. We can allow those beautiful gifts and that wisdom to come through from our soul, from our
Can I just mention something about that? It's to do with having that extra being there with you, and particularly what you've just said. So last night I thought about this in the dream. I said, well, what if it was just me and me in the dream together? Like, what would that feel like? Not a clone of me, but another fractal of me being together in that dream. And I guess what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then Kathleen's also given us some more information.
I felt I lived there in another lifetime, and the temple felt very familiar.
Yeah, beautiful. So, and the cards really did just actually, complement what you know and what you've sort of been feeling. So that's awesome. So yeah, so thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful.
Wow, what a beautiful dream.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? So and Christina's on. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
Hi.
And Trigal has hang on. And now this is interesting. We'll go back to Lady Hawks.
Yeah.
Where is it? She put something here. It is. There we go.
Okay, so is that the first part? I always feel like there's someone.
No, she's actually done a comment.
Further down. Here it is. I've tried to turn around to see, but I wake up. Ah.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
So bringing it into a consciousness, maybe you just don't need to. That's really interesting that you actually have already tried to see. So that's fabulous. But actually, I'm going to do a card on that as well, because I'm still getting the sense that, again, it's another aspect of yourself that you don't need to know in your waking consciousness. So
it's having faith in what's happening.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. So we've got our Eight of Swords. So yeah, it's something that you don't need to be aware of. See how you're tied up and you're blindfolded, and the Ace of Swords. So that's telling, yes, this is just something that's perfect for you while you're in that sleep time. So that's,
Marie, do you think that's because if we are fully aware of what we were and what we are, that it might change what we've mapped out for ourselves?
Yeah, and I think maybe it can interfere with us if we get too latched on to other lifetimes. Like, where are we here? Are we being present? Are we connected to God here in our beautiful being, our beautiful suit that we are in here? I think sometimes, like for me, I learned a lot when I was doing spontaneous past life regressions as well. Like, I'd just be taken and I'd know who this person was and how they worked with me. There was a lot of healing. There was a lot of deep soul healing and lineage healing that came from that. But I haven't done that in a very long time. sometimes it'll be spontaneous. It'll take me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, this aspect of me, I'm going to actually heal some of that aspect. And but I don't know. I mean, now I just don't need to go there. So, but it's different horses, different courses for horses at the end of the day. So, So it's always going to be perfect. So, and if you get, I find if I get a little bit confused, I just go into my heart and I talk to God and I go, okay, what's going on here? Just like, and then I start to get my really clear messages with it. So it's true though. So, yes. But and Tribal's put something up as well. Where are we up to? Let me just see.
Hey. Hi, Trigel. Since my teen years, now in late 50s, there has been in my dreams a guy with long dark hair and dark blue violet eyes. Is this my twin flame or a guide? Maybe both.
Actually, Tribal, I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to ask you to tell me what you think first, because I think it's really important we go in and get our own discernment when it's something that's been like such a long time that you've been having this. So I want you to just, whatever it is that you've been thinking or feeling, you let us know, okay? And it's not never right or wrong. It's just what's your gut feeling with it. So and then we'll have a look at it with the cards. But I really love people to start to trust themselves and to start to really connect in with their own inner wisdom. Talk to God if you have to. Do whatever you do that actually works for you. So yeah, so we'll have a look and see if Tribal. Oh, beautiful. My love. Yeah. Isn't this interesting? So let's just have a look at the cards for you as well. But and I bet you feel good too when you have that beautiful dream, with that guy in it. So and I loved what you said earlier. It's like we don't have to label things, but just those two words, my love. Well, if you feel that love with them, that's all at the end of the day that you might need to know, and you feel safe and you have that feeling of your heart being open. That's beautiful. So yeah, let's just have a little look. Yeah. So what I'm getting, we got the Knight of Swords first. Now this is actually to me, this is often a message that's coming to you or something that comes to you through your mind very quickly, and it's very positive. So I would say that this is what this being that you're feeling is actually done for you. We've got our Seven of Pentacles as well. This means that, yes, the seeds have been planted for a long time. But the reason why I feel you're getting it in your dreams, when the Seven of Wands come up to me, this is about maintaining your own sense of self. So I think if this person maybe was in your life physically, you maybe wouldn't have found out everything that you have about yourself to date. So, and Temperance, that's that beautiful angel card. So Temperance is also about patience and about that change will come, but there's not the emotional turmoil. So yeah, and then the Eight of Cups. So I feel this is something that you both maybe agreed to walk away from in a physical lifetime, but you still just feel that love, which is, and it could again be another aspect of you. We're all just an aspect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, is there really a sex out there? No. Is it just one? Are we just one anyway? And we've just part of what? I mean, who knows what we're heading into?
I know. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? So, yeah. So thanks, though, Trigel. That's really brave, and I really love that you put that up. So, and Kathleen's also put something up.
Yeah. And Kathleen's saying, I've had a lot of spontaneous past life memories and do the same. Why? What does it mean for my life now, etc., and move on? It happened a lot in my 20s and 30s and been a long time. Had one last week, though.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So Kathleen sounds really similar. It was in my 20s and 30s, and I definitely, and even into my late 30s, and I remember reading the what's his name, Weiss. Brian Weiss, and my friend had done the course, and so she was the first one that ever did it with me and another friend. We did a regression, and it was really amazing. And then after that, I just got it, and but it had happened spontaneously before that. Actually, when I was younger, I was in my 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, and it was happening in a job I was working at, and I just knew where I knew them from, what had happened. So much healing. So yeah, and it's funny that you had one last week as well, Kathleen. And yeah, I think now it's almost to help an aspect of us or to help our lineage, if we need to. So yeah, what do you think on that, Nick?
Well, something just came in then. It was yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I was somewhere out and a lady came almost straight up to me to start talking to me, and she was just smiling, and it was like she was acknowledging me, and I was doing the same to her, and I didn't know her, and I don't think she knew me, but it wasn't like, oh no, sorry, I've got the wrong person. We just kept doing it. And then later on, we kept saying hello to each other. We crossed paths, and I got this overwhelming feeling that we've had an experience together in a past life. And it's sort of like I'm starting to see it more in my real life. It's merging. And even though can't place her, it was more this feeling that I got. And I thought, yeah, I know you and you know me. And I don't know why or where yet, but that's okay. But it was just, it really quite was overwhelming for me. And I was like, wow.
It's like soul resonance, isn't it? It's just like there and there's this familiarity and connection. Yeah. But it's great. And I think it will, a lot of the friends I've met, I've had that too. And it just unfolds. Sometimes God said to me, you've got to hound them. You've got to make, and I did. And we ended up being really, really close friends. But it was like I was stalking them because they needed a push to do what was going on. And yeah, it was fascinating. I was like, oh, here goes the stalker again. But it's always amazing when that happens. So,
but I do wonder, sorry, I do wonder if those people are coming back into our lives as those past experiences that we've had, you know, they're being shown through in different ways now. I know a lot of my past friends that I haven't had as much contact with are now just popping in and out. Like, I'm just wondering who's going to still be in my life and what, and then all of a sudden people just will come into my head and the next minute the phone rings, haven't spoken to them for 10 years. And it's just sparked a whole new conversation because we're never the same person we were 10 years ago.
That's right. I know, it's pretty interesting times, isn't it? Yeah. So and Kathleen's put up a little bit more about her experience.
You go, girl. I was in a farmhouse in New England somewhere around the Salem time. I had a clean house. Someone was coming for me and I had a lot of neck pain. Called in the angels to heal it. The next day it healed.
Yeah. And do you want to read that one as well that she put up?
Yeah, pretty sure I had been hung for being a witch, but I just worked with herbs. Yeah, well, that's a witch.
Those days, absolutely. And, you know, I think, I think there was such a, such a trauma to the feminine aspect and to that, you know, beautiful connection to earth and all the rest of it as well. So you probably had some healing from that too, you know, and I just think it's spontaneous. Like when it's the right time and that happens, you know, it's an aspect that's being healed. And, you know, it's, you know, I don't know. I think we'll get messages from nature, from people that ring us, from these aspects as well. And I think it's great. We just go with it. So it's fascinating, isn't it, when you have pain in your body physically, and then when something like this happens and it shifts and it goes, it's really fascinating.
I'm identifying with that neck pain because usually I don't have that. But lately, it's just even this morning, it's like, oh, what's going on? You know, it's like, what does this mean? And it can mean lots of things. I'm aware of that, obviously. But it's funny that she brought that up. And I do feel we need to call in the help sometimes.
Yeah,
you know, because we know it can be difficult in a body. You know, and particularly because we've been aging in a way that probably we're not used to. Like it's not sort of something that we really know how to deal with sometimes. Yeah. So I like that you did that. I'm going to have to do that tonight.
It's so funny, isn't it? Yes. And, you know, it's funny because I asked for a couple of dreams, but I've been really busy in the day. I think we were talking about this last week, and I wanted to ask for some dreams. I think it was around colour and things coming through, and I've just been too tired and I'd sleep and I just wake up and I go, oh, wow, okay. So I haven't even had that experience. So I'm going to have a couple of days off now. So I'm going to actually do that again and see if my body's ready to receive it. So Lady Hawk's actually got a question.
Yeah, the question, thanks, Lady Hawk. What is the state between asleep and dreaming and fully awake? I've noticed that if I try, I can stay there a while and think about things.
Yeah, it's almost like the twilight zone. So in between that deep sleep, like your rapid eye movement sleep, and going in through different phases as well. I think if you remember Tracy, my friend that was on that did Ayurvedic, and she said we go into different. If you're talking about it from an Ayurvedic point of view as well, you go through your Pitta phase, so, and then you go into your Vata, which is it's a much lighter sleep, and we can consciously actually ask to be more aware during those times. So, and that's why she says try and get to sleep before 10 o'clock, because then if you stay awake, and it happens to me, if I stay awake, then I start wanting to eat some food and this and that because you're going through your Pitta stage. So yeah, so it's all different, just conscious levels, like from theta right through to to your rapid eye movement sleep. So I think it's fantastic if you can stay there for a while and think about things. Being in that twilight zone, to me, is beautiful. So Nick, do you get into that twilight zone as well?
Yeah, I do actually. I do, and I sometimes then I start to wonder, like, okay, so which way am I? I ask which way I'm meant to be headed. I'm going to start like tapping out, or am I going to start coming back up again? Most of the time, for me, I get a noise externally that brings me out of it. That's enough. So I don't have that lag, that feeling of, I was in the middle of a dream. And,
yes.
But yeah, it is like the twilight. And I often, with that, sometimes the phase to me is like we're getting ready to come back into our bodies, or we're getting ready to go back into a higher state of being. So I don't actually sometimes get a lot of messages when I'm in that phase. It's more about me sitting with an idea. So I think what you're saying there, if that feels right, then it must be right for you. It's about thinking about things, getting your head around it so that you can move on. Because that's what dreams are meant, for me anyway, are meant to be. It's about learning and getting information from the guidance and sitting with it. And if you can sit with it in the dream, even better, because then you can keep going forward. You can ask for more.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, I think it's really lovely. I mean, Lady Hook, my problem is I've got like a 10-pound cat that comes up and slaps me in the face because he wants his chicken. So my external noise is like, I don't have those moments anymore. I used to love that time, or he starts playing with my feet, so I don't have a choice. I have to come out pretty quickly these days. And I was saying to Nick before we started that that's often when I used to have my most vivid dreams, or the things that I would remember the most was in that beautiful twilight time. So yeah, my cat Clive has decided to take that away from me for the moment. And if I shut the door, he just knocks on it. So there's no point.
Well, you asked for Clive.
I did, and he asked for me. So
that's right. That's exactly right.
Lady Hooks, yeah. Do you want to read that as well?
Yeah. So Lady Hook says, so there's that core that holds us to our bodies. Maybe mine's stretched out a bit.
That's funny. So yeah, look, I mean, it's fascinating because I've actually had the experience of going up through the top of my head when I was conscious. I got asked if I wanted to do it, and I did, and I was floating around outside. And I was going, yeah, so I can leave my body, it's okay. And then when I came back in, and so there's definitely something that holds us there. But I still felt the same. I still felt me, even when I'd done that, left that with my consciousness. It was pretty amazing. So, and yeah, we do travel. And that's sometimes, like I said, when you can feel a little bit nauseated when we're doing that interdimensional travel. So yeah, it's interesting if you, and it can be an expanded consciousness as well, because as Nick was saying, we're all connected. We all are part of this beautiful consciousness. That's how I feel it. That's how I see it. So you're probably just able to sit in that vibration. So yeah, but so your tribal's actually got a
Trigel said, I've been awakened by a very uncomfortable dream and can't go to use the bathroom, I think.
Can go to
use the bathroom and get some water and go back to bed, only to be pulled back into the same dream again. Very uncomfortable. Wow.
And Trigel, do you do you find that the dream has a meaning for you? Like, have you actually sat down and then tried to work out the dream? Because I remember with Zan, she had that happen to her with the snakes. You know how much she just loved her snakes. So she would say that she would go back into it again. So there's obviously a really powerful message in there for you, and especially if it's uncomfortable. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see if you actually can unravel that. So getting the message usually the dream will change. So what are your thoughts, Nick?
Well, I'd like to ask if when you went back into the dream again, did anything change, or was it just a complete repeat? Because if it's a reoccurring thing, it means that you're not getting the message yet. It's like we're trying to let you know something here, so don't be scared of it. This is so important for you to hear this message. That's why we're making it uncomfortable for you.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting, Chajal, if you remember a particular dream. I know it sounds like you've had it happen a few times, but if there is a dream that you can remember from that sort of time, let us know. Yeah, and we'll see. You know, if you're getting a repeating dream, that's definitely, hey, we need to have a look at this. So that's pretty amazing. So yeah.
And on that, I always encourage people to explore their dreams or ask them, have you had any dreams lately? And I do it out of the blue. Here's this crazy dream woman again. But my neighbour, who hasn't really been able to come up with anything the last couple of days, she's had 2 dreams. So I thought, oh, well, I'm going to practice my interpretation of it and see where it sits with her. So I just did the decode in terms of the symbology. And it was amazing because the first time I did it, she said, oh, wow. Next one that came along was there was so much in that dream that I said, I need to sit with this for, a couple of hours and think about it. And then when I wrote it out and gave it to her, I said, I think you'll see that there's a theme going on here, and there really was a very strong theme. And even though the dreams weren't identical, there was the meanings and the symbology was the same.
I know, it's so true. And I think, Nick, you said you've had 2 dreams recently as well. And I think it's lovely that you're actually helping people to decode dreams, and it doesn't take much. And then they start to get it and then they can start to do it. Yeah. So, but we'll just do triangles first.
Okay. It tries to continue on, and I have to forcibly in my dream push back on something that feels very negative.
That's fascinating. So if it feels negative, I mean, it's like, does it create fear for you? Yeah. Is it something you could face? Is it something you could, it's like, you probably remember my witch dream I had from when I was a little child. Took me till I was 28 or 29 to actually turn around and face that witch. And then I never had it again. So is there something that you can actually face? Because it was really interesting. When I actually did the cards for you, one fell out, and it was the devil card. Now, to me, that's something that's deeper within us that is just trying to be shown to you. It's not anything that you have to say is negative or nasty. It's simply an aspect that's coming up to be seen. So sometimes facing it and just knowing, if you get scared, you can always call on God, you can call on Jesus, and you're protected, okay? But just often this is like a little, hey, this needs to come up. It's gonna be something that you're going to become aware of and then release it. Mine was actually a gift, and I vetoed it for like 20-something years. So yeah, maybe face them and see how you go. It takes a lot of courage, Chajal. But if you know that you've got that support there from whoever you go to, whether it's Jesus, God, whatever, you're going to be fine. So yeah, but and it's true, and a lot of people may have these situations, and what do you do with it? So just know that you're always more powerful than what is trying to come up, and it's okay to actually deal with it. So yeah, so
I sometimes just say, is this for my higher good? Is this actually going to benefit me? What I'm experiencing, and I know that's difficult when you haven't had that experience yet, where you can go into your dreams and question things. But if you put that out, that next time I have some of these feelings of being uncomfortable in a dream, can you make me feel comfortable enough in knowing that? And then hurry up and show me the message. Sometimes I get in there and go, no, it's my dream, and I'm going to direct it as well. So I think that's definitely worthwhile exploring. But it says to me, yeah, you need to be looking at something, whatever that dream's, and maybe you haven't let it pan out yet because you keep interrupting it. You keep stopping the flow from that place of fear.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Kathy's on as well. Hi, Kathy. Lady Hook's just asked a question as well.
Okay, Lady Hawk says, oh, this is so amazing. What does a leech in a dream mean? A big, black, scary one and a small, multicoloured one. And the little one got stepped on and squished, asking for a friend.
Love it. No, Nick, what did you get straight away?
Oh, well, I'd actually like if somebody else on the chat wants to have a go at this.
Yeah.
What they think, what is the meaning that the first symbol that pops up in that sentence is a leech. And you think, well, what is a leech? What does it actually represent?
Yeah.
It's almost like a parasite sucking, draining energy from you. And then we've got the symbols there, the big, the black, once again, scary. There's a fear. What are you fearing? But I'd be interested to know what other people are thinking, because this is why I learned so much with the dreams, because I'm looking at the chat and I'm filling into what that symbology might mean for me, not necessarily for the person, but for me.
And I'm glad you said that, because it's so true. And, with this great Betty Bethard's book, The Dream Book, yes, it's a lovely, I think it's a lovely stepping stone to get some ideas, but everyone has a different connection into symbology. So someone, as Nick says, dreaming about a leech, it may mean something different to someone else. So I love that you've asked people to do that. So, let us know, guys. How would you
brave? Come on.
feel if you had a leech in a dream? And it'd be interesting as well, Lady Hook, with your friend, to see what's going on in their life at the moment. And, what's actually happening for them with who they're talking to, who's in their life, how they're feeling about it. So, yeah. So we'll give it a couple of seconds, and we'll see if people actually want to add into this. So,
and I will say that the thing that made me laugh is that yesterday my husband came in last night, and he went out the back of the property, and he came back. He said, I just got rid of a leech. It was sitting here on my stomach. And I thought, I wonder what that means.
Yeah. Don't you love the synchronicity? Like, you can't make this stuff up.
No, there always is. There always is.
Yeah. So Lady Hawk's put up what she thinks it is.
Okay, it's what's draining you, and only the little one was dealt with and not the major one, so it will continue. Yeah.
And Kathy has put up
leech, someone draining your energy. That's right.
Spot on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I see a leech as a tool to get rid of disease.
See, that is that's what I mean. Everyone has a different it's a different connotation for them. So like, okay, I'm going to tell you, it's a yucky story, but it's an amazing story. So this guy he was a bit older, and he had this massive squamous cell carcinoma on his back when I was a nurse, massive. But he'd been out in the sun thinking the sun would dry this thing out. It was massive. And he had maggots on it. And when he came in, it was the cleanest, most incredible, clean, open wound I think I'd ever seen in my life, because these maggots had done such a good job at taking off all of the nasty tissue. And they put skin graft over it, and it just took beautifully. So for me now, when I think of maggots, I don't just think of rotting food and flies. I do often go to that, remembering that sort of thing. So the same with leeches, exactly what Kathleen's saying. Just interesting. So, but it was interesting about the colours as well. So if we go back to the coloured one. So the multicoloured one. So Nick, what's your idea on a multicoloured one?
Well, I think of the rainbow when I think of multicolour. And I always think with all the colours, it's showing you all the aspects of yourself, all the different levels. And this is just me saying, this is just me coming off the top of my head. But I also always see that when we have all the colours, I always think of like a crystal, a clear quartz crystal, and that white light, which is the combination of all colours joined together, that gives you that purity. So it might be big, black and scary, on this side, but on the other side, you've got this complete opposite. The two come into balance to me.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, and it's interesting because Lady Hawk's just put this up as well.
Oh, and so maybe the little one was trying to get rid of disease and the big one was draining energy instead of doing something to make things better. Stayed in the fear.
And it could very well be that. Yeah, draining. And but also too, sometimes people in your life can be taking out energy, and what are we doing about it? So yeah, or are we draining?
We're allowing.
Yeah,
we're allowing the energy. We're giving away our power.
Yes. I love that. See, this is beautiful. So it's a real combination of people's different understandings of it.
Yeah.
So and Lady Hawks, said, Kathleen B, I think you're spot on. And it's love, and often your intuition too will actually guide you as to what feels right. Yeah. How it actually sits for you.
Yeah. So I think that's really important, like you said, that just because there's a sentence that says this is what this means and this can be this in a dream, but we've got our intuition and it knows us more than anything, and so we present ourselves with these dreams. We give ourselves these ideas, so we're the best people to understand how to interpret it. That's why I say just give it a go. Have faith. Got nothing to lose. And the more you do it, the more you go, no, I really know what this is about. I can see what you're trying to tell me here, and I don't know. It helps you just keep moving forward or moving in the right direction when we do it.
Absolutely. And it's interesting though, because sometimes in dreams I'll have like a whole new aspect come through and I'll go, oh, this is interesting. I've not had this before. Wow. And it keeps me intrigued. It keeps me interested. And sometimes, because I always recommend having a dream buddy. And sometimes I'll have to ring Zan and I'll go, now, what does this mean? And because she'll be able to see it from a different perspective, she'll just throw out some ideas. And I'll go, oh, okay, now that is actually meshing for me and making sense. And then I can go into it deeper for myself. But it's nice just to have that other perspective sometimes as well. So, yeah. And so, if you find you're getting new symbols or you're getting new aspects come up in your dreams, it's wonderful. It means you're actually being at your deep subconscious or whatever is able to expand. It's like being able to read languages. It's being able to expand your dictionary. So it makes it a lot more fun to work with as well. So, yeah. But Nick, do you want to talk about the two dreams that you had quickly and then your synchronicity with the numbers?
Yeah, and I just want to show everyone, this is my dream book. It's just a notebook that I keep right near my bed, dreams and decodes.
That's brilliant.
And basically what I do is I'll write down a dream and then decode it and watch the show, put it onto the show, see if there's anything more in there. Obviously, at the beginning, I wasn't doing my own decodes at all. I was just sort of being passive, going, oh, what's this mean? I can't work it out. Particularly the dreams I had a long time ago that were significant, that kept staying with me. Yes, so in terms of like talking about guides, there was, and I haven't been having many dreams, but last 2 days, 2 nights I've had dreams. And I asked for these dreams specifically before I went to bed, as in tell me a dream that's going to help guide me into understanding what I can say about guides in dreams for this show. So I was with a close friend of mine who is a friend in real life, and we were at her house. Don't recall the first part of the dream, but I certainly remember the second, that we were all getting into her car, big 4-wheel drive, and we were driving up north. She had her 2 daughters with her, and there was another girl who felt like she was a daughter as well. She doesn't have more than 2. She was draped across the other 2, and they were sitting on the back seat. I was the passenger, and my friend was driving. And it was a very short dream because all we were doing, we were just driving up north, drop them off. And I remember looking into the back, wondering why the person in the middle seat was lying down. That's when I realised that's not even one of her daughters. But I thought, well, this must be about the number for me, as well as the person who I'm talking about. I have great respect for. She's very much grounded. She's got a beautiful, caring soul. She's trying to promote good health in people. She does so much for other people. And I thought, I like that trait about her. Which maybe taps into something that I am and I want to be more of, or I am already doing it. So there's that link with the guides. And then the 5, which is a guide also, because, you know, the importance of numbers, it's geometry. And so when I went into it and I looked at it, I thought, well, 5 in the car. And basically it means things that are taking place now or about to take place. There's going to be a change happening. And I thought, oh, I like that. I always like when there's something new coming in. And then all that day, yesterday, prior to that dream, I kept seeing 5, 5, 5 in all sorts of weird places that I've never seen, not just on a clock, but really like I'd flick a book and there'd be 5, 5, 5 on the page. And then at the end of that dream, basically when I looked at the number and I looked up at the clock when I'd finished writing it in my book here, I saw the clock on 10:49, and 10:49 is my number that says everything's going according to plan. And when you reduce 1049 and add it together, it comes to 5. And I thought, okay, there's my message. Everything's going okay. There's change coming, and it means be comfortable with the change. The change is is my message that I got from that. And it was my friend coming as a guide to say the change, I believe, is about caring and being open and being balanced. You know, this is the beautiful future we are looking forward to.
I agree. I think that's beautiful. And so for anyone else, if you've been getting, I've been seeing 444s and 5/4s everywhere lately. And to me, it means like I'm in a 444 club. Like people that see the 4s, it's like, oh, wow, okay, foundations. But for you, I pulled some cards on that.
Oh, wow.
And the first one was your the Knight of Cups. Now, he's bringing you a message, an emotional message, which is what you got. And then you got justice. So I think you're quite right. I think there's going to be a lot of justice that comes through. 2 of Cups. This is in partnership with someone, or this is actually finding another aspect of your emotional being. Okay. And yeah, we've had a tough road. So the 9 of Wands, there's going to be change and away from something because you weren't driving as well. It's almost like you weren't maybe in full control. Someone else was driving you, but you actually like that aspect of you. But maybe maybe you need to step up and be a little bit more, I don't know, not so nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is that what's driving your life? So maybe you already are that and you don't need to be more of that.
True. Which is interesting because the dream I had last night, I think taps into a little bit more of that. So that seems to really run in line and balance with that. Will I talk about the next dream?
Yeah, but that was, I loved your decode on that too. Really good. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so this one was, I called it drive-by, and there were I was at my house and there's a road that was up on the top and there were all these cars lined up, and one fell, sort of just broke free and started driving in through my yard and was taking a shortcut, and I felt all the cars were going to some sort of a meetup somewhere and they were just waiting to get in, and these people didn't want to wait, so they came through my yard. First one was a 4-wheel drive, a grey one, and the second one that came in was another 4-wheel drive towing a massive motorhome, and behind that was a massive big trailer, like a huge ones. The motorhome, the colour of the motorhome was white, and the trailer had a big tarp draped over it that was green. And these it's like a 3 joined together coming down through my house. And I was thinking, why are they driving down through here? And I picked up a rock actually, and I bounced it on the ground and hit one of the windows. But when I did the decode for it, the words that I highlighted after I wrote it through was yard, growth, expression of self. The car, that's just me in my daily life. The bigger the vehicle, the larger the potential for me to manifest things that I want to create. Even though downhill, it was just partially downhill, and then it went along the straight part of it. So I didn't feel like it was going in the wrong direction completely, but maybe it's the signal to say, don't fall back into that. Keep going along that balanced straight path. You'll get to where you need to get to. The grey was neutrality. The white car is about truth, coming into the truth of knowing. The green was about growth and expanse, and I guess the healing that I'm been going through my whole life actually.
Yeah.
a bit of creativity there, breaking into the new. And the rock was about strength and grounding and getting my own personal power. So I thought, well, having those two dreams after not having many dreams at all, maybe there was a link to that. So what you said, Marie, makes a lot of sense.
Yes, yes. So, and the grey can also mean a little bit of fear. So it's, so with the changes going on, there's definitely there's something happening as well. And of course, we're often, I get fearful sometimes when, there's change coming. It's like, oh, because we don't know the outcome, but that's when we've got to stop and just have faith and really just trust that God's got our back, that we're going to be okay, that everything's fine. And that's what I do. I mean, even yesterday I was doing something for the first time in ages, and I went, oh, I hope this all goes okay. And then I started to feel a bit nervous. I went, oh, hang on a minute, Marie, just remember, God's got your back. It's all good. Everything always works out. And it did. So I think even, when there's change coming up, we don't have to be afraid. It's okay. So, wow. Thank you for sharing those. So, and Nick, because Nick's always every week sending dreams. And so it's so lovely to have you here to actually be able to express them.
No, I appreciate it. And I'm just going to say that the dreams, that when people put their dreams in a chat, it's just, I don't know, for me, it's like, another chapter of the book again is unfolding. And I do feel like that there's a connection with this group. There's a reason that we're fleshing this out. And lately, all I've heard from any podcast I might listen to or anything I might be watching that, that sort of goes, oh, I must watch that. The word dreams is coming up again and again. It's sort of like it's the new hot topic, even though we've all been having them, everyone has them. And the thing is, dreams are so honest.
I know.
There's nothing infiltrating them. It's you. There's no other filters externally coming in real life. That happens all the time. So it makes sense that our dreams are there for us. And just tapping them in and, clicking things back.
And I think too, with the shift in consciousness, I think people are becoming more aware. They may be remembering them, or they're actually intrigued by them and asking questions. And as soon as we start asking questions, what happens? We start expanding because we need to know. So So and it's interesting. So Nick, what you were saying obviously is resonating, with Kathleen too.
Yeah, she said, I see that tool. It's funny how there's so many synchronicities in our dreams each week. I learn so much from everyone's dreams. Yes, so do I.
I know, and that's why it's so interesting, because when I'm just trying to touch in and tap into a theme, like for next week, it'll be like, okay, so what's been coming up today that we maybe could tap into, and so, and I know we've done animals before, but it seems like, just with the leech, with the things that were coming up, I'd love to do more tapping into nature. So not just animals, but nature in general, because I know that's where I get a lot of my messages when I ask for things. So I don't know. So guys, if you put out the intention maybe to have some messages come to you through nature dreams, I think this could be heaps of fun. So but I was just then I just pulled a card for us all. So this is a one of my beautiful animal magic cards, and I'm just gonna get rid of that so we can see. So, and of course it's a spider. So, because then I was also just thinking about, well, what can we do for next time? The spider is all about creativity. So, and you can see here, these 5 crystals that are around the spider, they're actually the platonic solids, and they are the basis for all things. So as we're going through change, or as we're creating something new, the 5 platonic solids are the actual crystals that complete the matter, that actually make matter. So when I'm tuning into this spider, so this is a message for people that watch the show afterwards as well. It's not just people that are live. Honestly, the crystals, it's the tetrahedron. It's just jumping out. So what the tetrahedron is up here, tetrahedron is fire, purification, that helps us to prepare for change, which I find fascinating with what we've been talking about. And the orange is very strong. So this is the navel chakra. This is the creative area within us. So is there anything standing out for you in there, Nick?
Yeah, the spider, because I've had quite a few dreams with spiders in them, and actually I can't even remember right now what I'm just feeling into that card. It's about everything's in place, ready.
Yes.
It's ready to go, and the spider is the creator of this incredible web, and it's the web of our lives, you know. And it's ready and sitting there, and I feel like I certainly connect with the white of the crystals and the shapes that are around them. I feel like there's a sense of trust coming in from that card as well.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. And if anyone else wants to comment on it, because this, again, it's going to help to spark our intuition, to let us trust ourselves. So if anyone else is seeing anything in there that they want to comment on, go for it, guys. There's no right or wrong. I think it's just really lovely to get everyone's perspectives. And you know, when we do cards like this, if there's a few of us, the next person will have a completely different perspective, because that person's already got the message that they're meant to get from you. So, you know, you don't judge yourself on what other people have said. It's whatever comes through for you is actually really important. So, yeah, so that's our beautiful spider, our creator, just for the moment with where everything's at. Oh, it's beautiful. It's very multidimensional as well, is what I mean. So, yeah, it's very weaving. So Tribal's asked a question.
Yeah, she's asked what the yellow on the spider means.
Yeah, so it's a yellowy green. So the yellow is also around the solar plexus, which is the, to me, that's our energy center. So, and what do you think, Nick? What are you getting from that?
I'm sort of seeing just about every colour in that, to be honest.
Very colourful.
And it's about bringing this balance. Once again, we've got everything there. It's all together. And it's funny that the fact that Trigel's focused on that, maybe it's saying something to her specifically.
And beautiful. And this is it. Sometimes you'll get your own message from it. So for you, check in with your solar plexus and your feeling vortex. Are you losing energy through your feeling vortex? You know, just see what's happening for you around that solar plexus area, which is around empowerment as well. So, and then thank you for that. And then Lady Hawk.
Yeah, I love a web with morning dew on. It's so beautiful. It is, isn't it?
It is beautiful. It's amazing. So, yeah. And then Kathleen's asked,
what is the orange red at the top corner?
So are you talking about up here, or, sorry, it's very hard to.
Yeah, I think that's
Flower of Life. Is that the one you mean? So it's the Flower of Life. And so what the platonic solids, the 5 platonic solids, make up the Flower of Life, which is the crux and basis apparently of our physicality. So the Flower of Life is a template. So and that's creation. It's beautiful, isn't it? So yeah. Oh, Kibu's on. Hey. And we're about to finish. Oh, Kibu, thank you for coming on. Kibu, you can have a little. We're just a spider card, and you can actually have a look. Yeah, so was the first thing I saw. So yeah, it was that. So yeah, so hey guys, you're all amazing. See, you're all finding your own intuition and your own wisdom with what it is for you. Because I can sit here and say stuff, but what does it mean for you? And I really want everyone to really start owning their own power around their own intuition and trust. So
can I just say something about the comment to do with Lady Hawk saying about the web with the dew on it?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's actually sat and watched a spider make a web, but I always think, where does it start? Like, where's the start of this journey for them? And they because, you know, they've got to come from somewhere. They just can't come from midair, and how do they construct it? But they use the wind. They drop down and they use the wind to move across to where they need to be to start the structure. And, you know, I think about it's so beautiful. It's like something that's out of their control, but they know that they're going to have it happen, and they just let it all unfold the way it's meant to fold. And it's always perfect, the way it's created.
That's beautiful, because that's real faith, isn't it? That's complete faith. Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. And I've loved watching spiders weave their webs. It's magical. So, yeah. Oh, that was really beautifully said, Nick. Thank you. Well, guys, we're going to finish there today. So thank you all for sharing and coming on. It's so nice to hang with you all. And Nick, thank you for coming on. You're very brave. And And I was also, if anyone would like to come on as a guest, like I'll always have with me or Sarah with me as co-hosts. But if anyone wants to come on for a guest, even if it's 5 minutes to talk about your dream or to describe a synchronicity, just email me. You know my email. I am at magicmarie.com, and I can and we can line it up. So all you need is a StreamYard link, and you can pop on and say hello. So I'd love to do that with people. I think that would be absolutely exciting, is to meet people on that level. So have a think about it, guys. But yay, we will. I'll see you tomorrow with Elisa. Otherwise, next week back on the Dream Show. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for having me on. And please consider coming on to Marie's show. It's all adding to the mix. It's wonderful.
It is. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.